I want to highlight something insane for you today. How CNN absolutely botched the response to this crazy carjacking story. And then the mayor of DC said, "Hold my beer. I can do an even worse job than you've just done." If you don't know what I'm talking about, this is a god awful story. It actually happened on Tuesday in Washington, D.C., but it wasn't until this weekend that the video went viral. Now, this video is extremely graphic, and I'm not going to show you the parts where there's a lot of graphic footage. You see a man who is an Uber Eats driver. He has two teenage girls who jump into his car in an attempt to hijack his car from him. Here they are.
Call the police. Call the police.
Upstairs.
They're thieves.
He said they're thieves.
What's going on?
Call the cops. They're trying to steal his car.
Everybody's just filming, you know?
He said it's his car. He is their car.
She's flooring it.
No.
They're tasing him.
Stop it! Oh my God! Somebody just stole.
She's stealing their car.
Listen for this. Ready?
Yeah, we called the cops. Call the cops. Call the cops.
Obviously, a huge sound as they crash this car at the end of the road. Now, this man flew out of the vehicle and likely died on impact. I'm not going to show you any more of the footage, but that video goes up and you see him face down. It is tough to watch, without a doubt. This is the censored footage of him on the sidewalk. Even more unbelievable is that these teenage girls are really, really upset on the scene. Not because of what they've done, not because of what happened to this poor man who did nothing wrong, but because they lost their cell phone in his car. And well, you see the car is flipped up on its side and they're not able to get the cell phone back, which is a real travesty for these two teenage girls. So this has been something we've seen happen across the country. CNN did not handle this well today. Here's their tweet that has gotten a ton of attention on Twitter. Police said the girls, 13 and 15, assaulted an Uber Eats driver with a taser while carjacking him, which led to an accident in which he was fatally injured. AKA, they murdered him, right? What are you doing with your headline? Which led to an accident in which he was fatally injured? No, they slammed the gas on the car careened forward, smashed into a wall, flipped over on its side, and flung this guy out. They killed him. They murdered this guy in the middle of a carjacking, but CNN said, which led to an accident in which he was fatally injured. The mayor of D.C., not to be outstaged, decided to post this almost directly after this went viral. Auto theft, this is from Mayor Muriel Bowser of D.C., auto theft is a crime of opportunity. Follow these steps to reduce the risk of your vehicle becoming a target. Remember the motto, #ProtectYourAuto. And it's a video on Twitter with 5 tips for preventing auto thefts. Like victim blaming the guy. Oh, did you follow all the 5 tips? You post this right after a dude in your city gets carjacked and killed by teenage girls. The Metropolitan Police Department announced the arrests in this case. They said that these young girls had tased this guy, and they arrest a 13-year-old juvenile female of Southeast D.C. and a 15-year-old juvenile female of Fort Washington, Maryland. Arrested when charged with felony murder and armed carjacking, a.k.a. from CNN, accident that led to when he was fatally injured. Fatally injured's weird too, right? This is the DC Fire and EMS tweet. Crash with vehicle overturned 1200 block of Van Street. No entrapment. They said 1 victim with critical life-threatening injuries and are addressing 2 additional patients. This was early. They didn't know what was going on. Footage overhead shows the chaos. Here you go.
Cell phone video taken high above N Street Southeast shows the immediate aftermath of the crash. The blurred, motionless figure at the top of your screen is Muhammad Anwar. Police say he was in the 1200 block of Van Street Southeast Tuesday afternoon when 2 teenage girls armed with a taser carjacked him. A witness told News 4 Anwar struggled with the teens before his gray sedan crashed into a parked car and flipped over on its side.
You saw that video at the beginning. Now let's learn what matters. Who is this poor man? There is a GoFundMe that is almost up to $500,000, $489,944, and rising as I speak. If you search for Help the Anwars Find Peace, you will find this. This is who matters in this, not these teenage girls. who should, in fact, be punished in the most severe of ways. And we need to change laws in some of these cities where there are car thefts and carjackings on the rise, and people's lives are put at risk because all of the local leaders have been soft on crime. They have not punished people for carjackings and other serious crimes, which leads people to not be afraid of any potential time in jail or anything that could happen to them as a punishment for doing this. And this man died as a result of some of those policies. So here he is, Muhammad Anwar, a hardworking Pakistani immigrant who came to the United States to create a better life for him and his family. He was simply at work yesterday when providing for his family when his life was tragically taken in an appalling attack of violence. The details are still being investigated. However, we know he was working on an Uber Eats delivery when two assailants attempted to carjack him in Navy Yard. He was a beloved husband, father, grandfather, uncle, and friend who always provided a smile when you needed one. He leaves family near and far who cherish, love, and miss him very, very much. So there he is, the victim in all of this. And just an absolutely bananas story. What do you think about this? What do you think should happen to these teenage girls? And why do you think we're seeing so many carjackings? Also, what do you think about CNN and their bungling of this with this boneheaded tweet that they put out that couldn't call these 13 to 15-year-old girls murderers when we all saw it happen on video, only to be outdone by the mayor who said, hey, it was your fault, dummy. You're the reason why this happened. Give me your thoughts. I know you will. You always do. Sometimes you're a little aggressive over there, but you know what? It's interesting to look at the comments. So if you haven't done it yet, please follow this page. Videos just like this every day, whatever is hot and interesting in the news will be right here. So click follow over at facebook.com/thenewsjunkie or subscribe on YouTube, and we'll talk to you again real soon.